I'd like to call the Jeff Davis Parish zoning public hearing agenda meeting to order. We only have one item tonight. And that item will be number one, which will now hold a public meeting to accept comments in connection with the zoning application received from Mazen Haja for a class A1 to I1 zoning change for a borrow pit at the municipal address being 20520 Frontage Road North, Highway, Louisiana, 70647. And at this time, I'm going to entertain public comments. So I have some here, so I'll call them in no particular order. I'm going to call Matthew Fabacher.
If it's okay, Mr. Fabacher and I are here together. I'm Kenny Oliver. We're in opposition to this.
Okay.
So I can speak first?
Are you on the list?
Yes, sir.
He's representing them.
Yeah, I'm
There are two of y'all. Okay. So you want to go first? All right.
If that's
So
okay.
that's fine. So first off, we're going to have Mr. Kenny Oliver. And you live on Rue Bastille in Lafayette?
I gave you my office address.
Okay, that's fine. All right. And go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenny Oliver, and I'm here today on behalf of Caneview LLC. And I'm an attorney in Lafayette. I grew up in Lake Charles. I've run the roads between here and there all my life. My grandmother lived right off of Lake Arthur Avenue behind the 7-Up plant. Had many relatives who worked for 7-Up, and when I would come visit my grandmother, they would put me on the transport and dump me off at the plant, and I'd walk over to my grandmother's. So I may be related to somebody in here, and I don't even know it. But all my life I've been running these roads, and I've seen the tremendous potential of Jeff Davis Parish and the economic development that you're leading toward right now. And I want to tell you, I'm here on behalf of Caneview because the principals of Caneview, and that's Mr. Barry Fabacher and his son Matthew, have also recognized that. They purchased the American Dream RV Park that's located at 20500 North Frontage Road. That's next to this borrow pit. They just made a major investment in this, and they purchased it less than 2 months ago. And they come to you not as any type of come-latelys. They've also developed properties in Lafayette, and more on this same point, they developed 2 properties in Lake Charles. If you would reference them, the Gates at McNeese, it's a 212 space RV park located on East McNeese, and also Rustic Oaks, which is a 54 space RV park located on Broad Street. And those places were both at about 10% occupancy when they were purchased less than a year ago. They put major improvements into both of those. You can check them out on their websites. And now both of those facilities are at or near 100% occupancy. Okay. This is a trend that's happening. We know there's a demand out there for that, and Caneview has recognized that demand, and they know that demand follows quality, and so it's a major investment of what's taking place. Like I said, they purchased the American Dream RV Park a little over a month ago, and they've already put major investments in there. And I tell you all of these things about Mr. Fabacher because he's recognized that demand, and he's working to fulfill that demand, and he knows that demand is going to follow the quality that he's going to put into this. American Dream RV Park is a larger park, and it's going to have 535 spaces. And as we're speaking, not at this moment, but daily, the lots are being improved, the roads are being improved, the plumbing and electrical are being improved. Just yesterday, a water meter from the Jeff Davis Central Water Works District was installed, and it's going to have a parish water at that facility. Local contractors, including Roussel Construction and Mike Angie, are making some of these improvements. And in addition to what's going to be there for the people who will be living there, the 535 occupants, hopefully, the landscaping is being improved, and the office is being renovated, and there's new signage. So this is a new development that's come to the west part of Jeff Davis Parish. These lots, and I've been involved in some other things that I was truly amazed at, and I've had friends who wanted to go vacation and spend time at an RV park. I didn't think that was possible, but with some of the RV parks, and some of you may be RV owners that own these tremendous RVs. These will be permanent occupants there. These lots are going to lease at $485 per month. And what will be paid to Jeff Davis Parish is going to be the recently added 5.5% with the additional hotel tax of 5%. And so if there are any of you in this room who are like me and went to public schools at LaGrange and McNeese, I had to pull out my calculator. And if Mr. Faubacher and this company are only reasonably successful in doing that, that could mean $20 to $25 up to $27,000 per month in taxable income coming into the parish. And we're opposed to this application because we want to attract those 535 occupants to American Dream RV Park. And if what goes on at this borrow pit, if there is any plan at all, and I've spoken with someone with it, and I haven't heard a real plan, that landowner has an obligation to be a good neighbor. And so what does a borrow pit do? Well, this is going to take dirt out of Jeff Davis Parish and more than likely place it someplace else. You're going to have noise that's come from excavating that dirt, and we're concerned as to the effect this borrow pit's going to have on the constant trucking that's going to be going on, the excavation that's going to be going on, the noise that's going to come. Once that borrow pit is started, within a short period of time, there's going to be groundwater that develops, and a pump needs to be added, and that's going to likely be a diesel pump or some pump that's going to put noise out there. The trucks hauling dirt are going to create dust. It's expected. The trucks going in and out of the property on frontage road during muddy season, just like a cane truck in harvest season, it's going to cause mud on the road, and they don't have the liability that a cane truck harvester has when they enter and exit a facility like that. So we're here in opposition to that, and we don't want this borrow pit to be placed in a prime area of economic development. I mean, Jeff Davis Parish is prime for that right now with the soon-to-be open interchange that's going to be just on the west side of this property. And we think granting this application would be a mistake because of all of the reasons that I said. All I can do is look at the history of whatever was applied for and granted previously. For whatever reason, those plans did not come to fruition. You can still drive by that property and see it now. There was no plan then, and I don't hear a plan now. They want to take and excavate the water. And so what I would suggest to you, that instead of detracting from Jeff Davis Parish, that you make the decision to add to Jeff Davis Parish and enhance it. And we can only do that by not denying this application. So thank you for hearing us. We look forward to a favorable decision. Thank you.
All right, is Matthew Faubacher going to speak, or that was good enough for him? Okay, so then I have one more person that would like to speak, and that is Mr. Thomas Stubbs. Stubbs or Strubs? Strubs, all right, come on up. Just state your name and address, and you got 5 minutes.
All right. My name is Thomas Strub. I live at 273 Ormstead Lane in Moss Bluff. We are asking to get the pit started, and I have talked with Mr. Faubacher and Mr. Oliver, and I've offered try to appease his concerns. His main concern was the noise, and where I'm going to dig is in the back of our property, and where the pump he's concerned with is going to be at the farthest corner from his property, which is over here, and it'll be back here. So that noise shouldn't be an issue. What I have offered to do, because we have about a 300-foot buffer between where his fence should be and where I'm going to be running trucks in and loading, I've offered to put a big dirt hill there as a noise buffer. So I think with that and a fence, we ought to have most of the noise knocked down. I want to be a neighborly situation. I'm not looking to hurt his improvements. And I think at the end of mine, he will have something that will enhance his situation, because we will have about a 40-acre lake there, plan to do a stock situation and offer charter fishing. So it's something that his campers could enjoy. We looked at doing a dirt pit at another location. It did not fit the parish's guidelines. So we had to find another location where we had the dirt. the water park is it. We found out we have some of the highest quality dirt in the area that would be needed for this bridge project. So it is a needed situation. I'm gonna do everything I can to be as neighborly as I can and not be a hindrance to what he's got going on, and hopefully help it in the long run. We ask that y'all approve this. We have taken quite a bit of loss on that property due to storm and vandalism, and we're trying to recoup some of ours, turn the property into something that is not an eyesore, that would help the community, and also bring in tax dollars. So,
What about a safety feature?
a what?
You got all them RV parks where let them kids, they don't know no better. How you gonna keep them out of pit?
Well, if they have a fence between the properties, we're gonna have the front blocked off, it'll be fenced off. I'll have, no trespassing for sure. I can put the large amount of dirt, like I said, in between, on the line of his property. But what else would you want to keep?
Normally, we make you put the fence, privacy fence, solid wood,
Okay, just around the pit area,
the whole strip.
the whole strip between him and I? Okay, from my understanding, a commercial property is the one required to put up the fence.
Well, it's gonna be your liability if they get in that hole.
Well, you're gonna be rezoned to I-1, correct?
I thought it was an industrial, so I'm not sure what this is.
I-1.
So I-1.
Yeah,
So I-1 is, more stringent than C1,
okay.
which is where he's
So
at.
it would put the fence on us?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
my biggest concern is the dust, because we've already got pits near areas where we have residents, and we are constantly getting complaints about dust blowing over. And
Well, we would definitely have water trucks and things like that to
Yeah.
take
Next
that
thing
down.
is, no Saturdays. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everything shuts down.
Okay,
You're gonna have to put an electric pump to suck your water out.
okay, all right,
There was no noise.
okay,
We did this on dirt pits up north of here.
okay. All right, so I'd be required for a fence, an electric pump.
And you rode on the opposite side.
I still think that road's gonna be too close, because we got a quarter-mile distance here.
That's right.
What you mean the road on the opposite side? I'm not following.
Away from the park. Like where your trucks come out,
Uh-huh.
they'd be going out on the east side of you.
All right. This is the road, this is the property. Where I was gonna come out is where the main sign is for the water park. They have the entrance and the exit there. All that has been rocked and ash, and that's where I was gonna use to load and come out, which is from the edge of that parking lot to his line is 300 feet. Where the trucks are actually gonna be going is closer to probably 400 feet.
And what you gonna do about the mud on the road?
Well, we have the water trucks there to wash. That was already a requirement. I'd
You'll be
noticed that.
behind every truck.
I'm sorry.
If it's muddy, you're gonna have that behind every truck.
I'd probably have to have a truck sitting on the road washing at that point. That's where my water truck, I wouldn't need the water truck on the property. I'd have it sitting at the road doing the washing. And I would have large rock at the entrance, to knock off as much mud as I can before they even hit the road. And they're gonna have a pretty decent drive on that rock before they actually pull out on the road. 'Cause that parking lot is, 400 or 500 foot deep.
I got a question for you. So, and I don't know how to explain it, but, all right, so here's their park.
Mm-hmm.
Here's you.
Right.
Okay. Where are you putting the dirt pit in relation to? Is it gonna be parallel to where their guests are gonna be parked? Or are you gonna be further north of that?
If he's full capacity to where the back of his park
Back of
is,
his property, right?
because that's about the depth of the property, the dirt pit is gonna start just past half of it.
Just
The
past
back
half?
Basically the back half of the property. And I'm gonna have probably a 300-foot border between where the pit is and the property line of his property, what runs on that side. If he's full capacity, yes, he will have some campers, where we're digging, but we'll be in a hole at that point. We won't be on top of ground, and we'll have a dirt buffer and a fence. So I think noise shouldn't be an issue at that point. If Dust, I'm gonna take care of with water. I mean,
Mr. President, just to remind everyone, y'all passed a dirt pit ordinance that addressed dust, that addressed, site plan has to be submitted. It talks about cleaning the road every day, on a daily basis, warning signs, talks about buffers on, between the property lines and the road. So, I mean, the first step is zoning, but I mean, they're welcome to start, I guess, begin that process, and we could present that site layout to the jury at a subsequent meeting, if they could get that to us, in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I can.
And
Mr.
just
Scruggs,
curiosity, your relationship to the owner of the property is what?
We're business partners on this
Business partners,
situation.
okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mr. Scruggs, is there a property between your pit and their pit, or their
Their park?
park?
No.
Sorry. Okay.
No, there's an area that's not used, I guess, that it has a little
There's
pond in it.
It looks like a pond. I'm looking at Google
Yeah, in the front there.
Earth. There's a pond, so it's on the back corner of that, on his side. He's
Well,
gonna
there's
bring it
ponds
up.
in the
Look at
back,
your-
and there's a little pond up kind of towards the
Yeah.
front, right on the side by his property. That area there, it has a service entrance that came in that was right on his property line.
Okay. I
All
think I
right,
see
and
it.
then there's a little pond where that service road turned towards the water park. That whole 300-foot area, we're not gonna touch. I was gonna put a dirt mound there for a noise buffer.
I see.
But we don't plan to dig there. It's,
Was that about that area, we need to push the economic development for businesses. That service, the city fixing over that service road on out, on 65.
right.
Dirt pit right in the middle of it to keep us from having other business.
Yeah, I think this is a poor use of the property value, personally. And I'm not against business. I mean, y'all know how pro-business I am, but like Barnes saying, that whole area through Lacassine, both sides of that interstate is prime real estate for
And
development.
Sewage and everything.
So,
But there's one right down the road.
so,
Isn't there a dirt pit west of you?
at the very end. Right.
Right there where 165, where the frontage road goes right under
No,
165.
I'm just asking a question.
Or I-10, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
so that,
There was one there, and
Can you
if
show
you
us-
go back
can you
towards
show us
Lacassine,
graphically?
there was another one there at one time that's now a lake.
can you show us graphically? I got it pulled up here.
Okay. This area here is what I call the parking lot, all right? This is the 300-foot buffer I'm talking about that's between our property and his. Where I'm starting to dig is here, and I was gonna come across to about right here, right, and leave a lake right here. The water will get pumped out to this canal, which goes out to the road. I'll dig this canal deep to where it pulls all the underground water to it, and from there I'll pump to that, which is as far from his property as it can be. If I put a dirt mound and we have a fence along this property, I don't see the noise will be an issue. And if I'm using water trucks like I'm supposed to, I shouldn't have an issue with that. The majority of the work's gonna go on its back, it's not gonna look bad from the front. Only thing is the trucking, but we have, almost 500 foot to knock dirt off the wheels of the trucks before we put them on the road, and we've got a truck washing that road. I don't see an issue. And when we're all said and done, the plan's gonna be to have a charter fishing situation back here, and we're gonna start raising shrimp and fish in the ponds and pools that are here, which will be just a closed business. So long-term, it's gonna do a lot for the parish.
But you're asking to rezone the whole thing I-1.
No, 45 acres back there.
Well, that's not what it shows on my map.
100 acres here.
It shows the whole thing.
Oh, no, it was, there was a mistake there, because all we asked for was 45. I don't know if we made it in the meter, y'all, I don't know.
That's what I'm getting at. That's a whole lot of,
This is what we're asking for back here, not the whole thing. Everything up front stays. The only thing I will have to use is the parking lot to get the trucks in.
And how long would it take you to tap out, so to speak, just totally excavate it to where you have your fishing pond? Is that a week, 10 years, 5 years?
I don't think I'm gonna hit water at some point where I'm not gonna be able to continue on. I think with the bridge projects that's going on, the size orders I'm gonna be getting, I'm hoping to be done in 3, to be quite honest with you.
So So the legal description we have on the application shows, I'm just doing a rough, like one of the south distances, 2,387.
Yeah, that was the legal description of the property, and maybe that's why we're
Yeah.
coming up with the different, I didn't know how to break that down, to be honest.
So you'd have to survey out the section that you want to do.
Okay.
What you want to do to the front part?
Nothing right now, just use this parking lot. I mean, we're gonna cut the grass, clean it up right now. But what's gonna eventually happen is what we're gonna try to do there is start raising shrimp and fish to sell. As it'll be a private business where we market to restaurants, stores, things like that.
What kind of smell you gonna have there?
What's that?
What kind of smell you gonna have there?
I'm sure really have any smell with that. Actually, there's a new chemical we've been looking at that cleans. I can go in there as dirty as those waters are right now and put this chemical in there, within a few hours, I've got crystal clear water.
And where do you pump your water out the pit? Which way does it go?
That canal.
Out of the pit's gonna hit this canal right here and then go to the main roads, the ditches on
So
the
you're
road.
gonna constantly have water coming toward the road.
Ben, is,
We'll have a constant situation there.
Ben, is that the same drainage lateral that cuts through?
Cuts through his property.
Yeah, but does it cut through, wait, you moved too far. Cuts through the industrial park where Rail Logics is at.
It goes across the road here, looks like possibly.
There it is.
I don't know,
Because there's one, okay,
Yeah,
no, that's
this
that
is
one.
it right
Yeah,
here.
that's the one that's been changed.
yeah, it got moved around.
Yeah, it got rerouted, which is a nightmare for drainage through there.
You don't need that muddy water going through all that stuff.
I don't know.
I'm just very concerned about the dust coming down your road. If you can guarantee, or when we call and say, hey, they're complaining about dust, I mean, that's my issue because we've got it right here. I've had it on several dirt pits.
I'm years in the construction business, I do know the situation. I used to do heavy construction in Atlanta, Georgia, and trust me, they did not allow dirt on their roads. I know how to be complaining, I know what it takes.
All right.
And it's a situation that I wasn't aware of, it was part of y'all's rules and guidelines for it. So it was something I'm planning on doing.
So one thing, just so y'all know, the reason why we do it this way now, I'm sorry, Butch, if you don't mind me telling them. The reason why we do it in a two-stage process is so that we can get these issues out, and then the two landowners that have conflict, so to speak, can get together and come to a compromise. And then if that is a compromise, if you're saying you're just going to have it in the back, because I see it as the whole thing, which I don't like that.
I apologize that, no, it's the back. This is where we're gonna build, we're gonna dig and make a lake back here. The only thing I'm gonna use is this parking lot to get my trucks in and out. I'm gonna load them right here.
But
So,
that right there could cost him campers from getting there, not want to hear the noise.
again, two
300, that 300 feet with a southeast wind ain't gonna stop that.
I mean, Mr. Oliver, what is y'all concerns? I mean, tell us that.
Well, all of those concerns go together, and the crux of it falls on the fact that there really is not a plan. I mean, to me, this is not a plan at all. It's sort of been thrown together, and all we have right now is some verbal thoughts about what could happen and how that was going to be. If we hadn't had the discussion right before this meeting, there would be no talk about some berm or some dirt border that was going on here. So it's all of these things, from the noise to the dust and the mud on the road and the lack of privacy and the ability for people to go back and forth between these two properties. And they're coming up with this, I can't even call it a plan. It's on the fly. And from our standpoint, we see what these landowners had done before. And so that's not a good result. We don't want to be talking 20 years down the road and say, this one didn't go well either.
So let me ask you this then, is there something acceptable to Caneview LLC for Mr. Stubbs and his company to do to make it, yeah, I'm okay if they put the berm up, if they put, electric pump, if they do this, is there something acceptable to y'all where y'all could work it out?
Well, I would have to speak to my principals to find that if we could. But from what I'm hearing right now, this really isn't the best use of this property. I mean, This is that should be the as I understand it, for this part of the meeting, that should be one of the concerns before you do get to the nuts and bolts of it. And you're gonna have a borrow pit and dirt being hauled in and out of that. It's gonna detract from what we're trying to do. And I don't think it's gonna help the western part of this parish in the long run.
Yeah, there's no doubt what you're saying is correct, but also, people have a right to use their property for what
I
they want
understand
to use
that,
it
and
for.
respect it.
It's within the guidelines of the parish but primarily, if y'all could work it out, I mean, if you could give us a list of, okay, if you did these X, Y, Z, and he agrees to it, then maybe we could come to an agreement. If not, we'll make a decision for y'all, but,
I think at some time or another, that's gonna come back and hurt Jeff Davis building their area.
oh,
We're trying to get
yeah,
business.
there's some pluses and minuses for both of it,
So basically, I mean, they'd have a week to work out the details
Right.
and come to an agreement, and then, I mean, anytime we do a zoning, we put the stipulations in there. This has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done. And if they don't, then they shut them down, or we shut them down.
I got a question. To you, is Scruggs still?
Scruggs.
Do you have a did you sign any I hear you talking about a bridge. Okay,
Right.
I know it's coming. Okay, it's been, do you have any contract set that you already got that dirt over that bridge?
Tentative, they're not signed.
Okay,
Let me explain this to you. We are a minority disabled vet EBE contractor.
Right.
That is getting involved with LBB on the bridge. We're getting our registrations done right now.
Right.
We've already been told, once we're registered, it's coming. Because we're the only one in this area with the heavy civil and all the credentials to go with it.
I've been in the dirt business. Okay, I just
Yes.
retired.
Okay.
Okay, and I had a dirt pit north of halfway towards Elton. Okay, we were promised this, we promised this, we promised a dirt job. Okay, this has been years. Okay. I'm same situation, 40 acres, 38 point something acres. Okay, well, we dug about 12 acres out of that. Okay, maybe a little more. And we didn't get that job. Okay, so we sitting out there with a dirt pit that's halfway dug that a farmer let us have, and we wasn't capable of getting all the dirt out that they wanted. Well, guess what? The job didn't pay. So we're hinged on that 40 acres. Is it gonna sit there? You're gonna dig 10 acres, and what you gonna do with the other 30 acres? Is you got future plans for that? And my other question is on the boundary in the back. I know you just got that piece. Are you gonna have a road?
It's a 150-foot border back there is
Right.
is
Okay, so
required
you
on
got-
all property lines.
Right, okay,
Right.
that's what I wanna know.
Yeah.
What kind of border you gonna have on the outside? Because you know yourself, if you've been in it, you know erosion's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care what you do, what kind of soil you got, you always gonna have erosion. I'm not an engineer, but I know for a fact that it's
One of the
going.
things I want to mention, whenever you get them dirt drivers, they try to find all the shortcuts. We don't want them on our parish road. Like Frederick Road, it goes to a good pavement, it comes out on Pine Hill. It'd be a shortcut. They go towards Kinder, or going North Highway, and you take right the wrong road. And we've had a lot of trouble in doing that.
So what route out?
You'll stay on that state highway,
Come out, take a right,
that's right.
okay, and go to 165.
Or go back towards Lancaster.
To 101, yeah.
I mean,
We
that's
don't
all.
want you on our parish roads.
I don't think we have any other ways out, sir, to be honest, from
But
that
if you
property.
go a little ways, you got Frederick Road, goes a mile, you can take Pine Hill and come out and get 165.
But no, most of the projects I'm looking at, they're gonna be jumping on the interstate and going towards Lake Charles. Okay, I do have 14,000 yards that was ordered for a job, 4,000 for a job in Iowa, another 10 is for another one that's supposed to be in, I think, Welch. But those are the only pre-orders that I've been given. The rest is all tentative, like I was telling you. But the quality of the dirt that's coming out of there from the testing we've done, they're acting like they're gonna use us. So
without
Do
it
they
being
have to
surveyed?
re-advertise?
surveyed and
Yeah.
subdivided up, because we have no way to know or put into the ordinance, even if we would pass it, of how it's gonna be delineated between the, whatever.
Yeah.
It is now I-1. I mean, we're kind of in a bind. So I think the decision that you guys are making today is, do you want to rezone the entire property as I-1? And that would be our decision.
If you don't survey it, they're gonna tax you industrial and the whole stuff.
That's not even a concern necessarily though, but for right now, it's the decision to be made, is
Yeah.
whether or not you want to rezone the whole thing.
Well, let me ask you this, I mean, is this something I can get a rezoning situation done and get it right back to you, or we're gonna have to wait another month for another meeting?
It'll be another month,
Have to be another month, yeah.
yeah. So Lance, is there any way to, other than doing a survey, which, you know, you and I know it costs a ton, and if it has to, it has to, but is there like just a temporary boundaries that you can list that we could accept, or it has to be a legal survey?
I'm not sure. I mean, I believe our zoning requirements discuss rezoning a lot. A piece of parcel of property owned by a person or an entity, but not necessarily a portion of that property,
Right,
you know, so.
okay, so it'd have to be surveyed then.
In the scheme of things, the survey is not that expensive. I mean, for a business.
Maybe not for
I mean,
business.
what he's talking about doing out there.
Okay.
I mean, it's a technicality, but that's fine. That's something we need to do.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
definitely would not want to rezone the whole
Yeah.
acreage as it's.
I mean, it's up to him, but I would highly recommend that he reference our dirt pit ordinance and possibly look at providing documents to this commission to look at when considering the rezoning, which would include like the site layout, the buffers and stuff like that, the driveway, that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right, so I guess going forward, we're not gonna do anything with this tonight until we get a survey, so unfortunately.
I would suggest voting on this one,
Let me ask this.
voting on it as it is. Unless he wants to pull it, we need to vote on rezoning, unless he wants to pull it, you know. But if not, if it's on the agenda to be voted on tonight.
Okay. All right,
Oh,
so,
y'all were gonna actually vote tonight, y'all weren't gonna meet in a week time?
well, we're gonna vote to send it to the police jury, the body. This is the zoning committee.
Okay,
So we're gonna vote to send it the next week to vote on it.
well, that's why I was wondering if I could get the zoning in before that meeting, could we get the approval at that meeting?
No, because then I think, because you're changing the size of it, it has to get re-advertised, correct? So,
Okay. Okay.
So you're willing to pull it for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a choice, shoot it down.
All right, so if nobody has any further questions, we'll table this for now, and when you get everything, and if y'all could get together, maybe y'all can work out something as well.
Gentlemen, let me ask you this, is there anything we can work out, or y'all just gonna close this no matter what we do?
That's all for us.
What's that?
yes,
All right.
Yeah, I would suggest voting to accept his removal of it.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion
I need a
that we
motion
accept.
for Mr. Chad Woods, second by Bill LeBeau, to hinder withdraw his
Except
request for zoning until he gets a survey.
Set the withdrawal.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right,